Hi everybody, welcome back. Today I'm going to talk about my special rare plants that I own, and we'll talk a little bit about what makes them rare, why are they expensive, and why I like them personally. So here's just a little bit of my collection, and there are plant collectors out there. There are people who will collect, for example, every kind of phylodendron that they can find, or any kind of variegated plant that they can find. And the reason why some of these are so trendy and expensive is supply and demand. Basically, that's all it is. The more excited a plant gets to be, the more people want it. Hi, kitty. For example, we can just jump right into it. Right here I have a Syngonium Albo. And you can see the nice variegation on the leaves. And this is what people are after. They like a bit of white, a little bit of green. That's what makes this plant more special than, say, the green form. And that's why it's more expensive. However, when you've got a plant with white or light colored variegation, there's less green on it for photosynthesizing, so it's going to grow a little slower and it's going to need brighter light than a regular green form plant. That's another reason why they're a little bit rarer to find, just because they don't grow as fast. Now this particular one here, if you notice this leaf here, for example, it's almost all white. It's dying. You can see it's slowly losing its vigor. It doesn't have enough green on it to photosynthesize. So I'm going to leave it on because I kind of like the white color, but this will not propagate well. Now I paid about $55 for this plant, and I'm intending to cut another cutting off to propagate it and sell. You can see it's starting a new leaf right here. Once this leaf is out and open, I'm going to cut the tip off and propagate that and help fund my plant collection. So that's my Syngonium Albo. That one is not very expensive in my opinion. Another one here, okay, this one is called a Hoya Beauty. It's a phylodendron. This is the green form. This particular plant I got for only $8. The green form, it's pretty common. Everybody's got one. It's easy to grow. However, there's the variegated form of this, which costs hundreds of dollars. I'm not going to spring for the $100 one. I like the leaf shape. It's unique. And that's what, I guess it's a personal preference. The leaf shape, the variegation, that's what people are after. This particular one, like I said, green form, pretty common, not very expensive. I only have it because I like the leaf. We've got down here the Hoya Beauty, and there's debate whether it's an alocasia or a caladium. I had a little bit of damage on it. I think I over-fertilized the older leaves. You can see I stopped fertilizing. The new leaves look much better. But again, it's that variegation, really pretty speckled leaf. That's what I go for. This one I bought at Home Depot actually. It's a common enough plant. It still cost me about $30, I think. The bigger a plant gets, the older it is, of course, the more it's worth. That's why I keep that one, because it's got pretty leaves. Another big plant collecting item is a Hoya. There are hundreds of kinds of Hoyas. That's what this one is. It's otherwise known as a wax plant. This one is a Hoya Croniana silver. I've already taken a little cutting off and rooted it in moss. I thought it's got a nice root on it actually. This one I'll be able to sell. I'm going to put the price at about $30 for this little guy. The big one is probably worth $50 or $60 even. As I said, the older and bigger it gets, the more it's worth. And Hoyas are a good collecting item. Again, different colored leaves, the better it is. This one apparently has got a nice flower on it, but it needs to be a few years old before it'll flower. All right, next on my list, Phylodendron Pink Princess. Look at this new leaf, isn't it pretty? It's got all this pink on it. Again, it's that different colored variegation. I bought this one for $65. This is one of my more expensive plants. And I just bought it because I really like the color. And it was my birthday and I treated myself. So that's the Phylodendron Pink Princess. Big ones like this, with big leaves, with a lot of pink splotches. Those are gonna go for in the hundreds. Maybe it'll get that big. But again, if a leaf is completely pink, it's not gonna do well. If you wanna keep it variegated, you wanna trim off all the entirely green leaves or all the entirely pink leaves. You want a mix. Next on my list is my pride and joy, my little Monstera Thai Constellation baby. This one I, again, got for my birthday. I saved up. I sold some plants in order to afford this one. It's not cheap. As a matter of fact, I was at one of my local greenhouses just the other day. They had a mature plant, a Thai Constellation. It was about 2 feet high and wide, fairly good size, and it was on sale for $600. Obviously, I didn't pay $600 for this guy. But the reason this one is so expensive is, again, your splotches. You've got the nice variegation in the leaves, and it's going to grow up to be like a normal Monstera plant with the split leaves on it. And it's going to look beautiful when it's got a huge leaf like this with splits down the sides and splotches, white splotches on it. Gorgeous. Anyway, this one was actually created in a lab, apparently, in Thailand. That's why it's called the Thai Constellation. It's a cultivar of the Monstera deliciosa. I have a green form just behind you over there. I'll throw in a shot of that in a minute. This one, I'm anticipating it'll grow up just like that one. It needs a lot of light, again, because of the variegation in it. The plant needs to work harder to make the energy it needs because it has less green and photosynthesizing ability to do so. So this one is my favorite plant of my collection. Now, I bet you in a couple of years, you're going to see these everywhere. Right now, there's not many out there. It takes a while, it takes a little longer to grow than your regular green form of plant. So the growers haven't created enough to release out into the market yet. So I saw an interview with Costa Farms, and they're anticipating in 2023, they're going to be releasing a bunch of these. And of course, once the supply goes up, the demand will go down, then the prices will go down. But in the meantime, I've got one. I'm very excited. Speaking of trendy plants, here's an old trendy plant. This is a Chinese money plant, a Pilea peperomioides, something like that. This was quite popular just 3 or 4 years ago. It was a little on the pricey side. It was Instagram worthy, as they say, and that's why it was so popular. Everybody wanted one. Of course, there wasn't enough supply out there, so it was on the pricey side again. I'm not sure how high the prices went a few years ago when it was really popular, but I paid less than $15 for this one just a few months ago. I like it. I like the way it's got the really round leaves, and it's going to grow up a nice tall, and the shape of it is what I like. And since I got it after its peak in popularity, of course it was cheaper. Another trendy plant that has come down in price, and maybe we can move on over here, is my fiddle leaf fig tree. That one, I've had it for about 4 years. I bought it, it was maybe 2 feet high when I got it at the greenhouse. That was a trendy plant a few years ago as well. One this size is still going to cost you a pretty penny. Hundreds of dollars, I would think. But you can get them at Home Depot, Walmart, Lowe's, any of those places now for less than $30. Small forms, mind you. But if you wait long enough, prices will come down because they will go out of fashion. Growers will produce more and more of them, so there will be more available to buy. And if there's a plant you really want, just wait, be patient, and those prices will come down. So that's about the extent of my fun collection, my little pricier plants. And I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any favorites of your own that you'd like to talk about, just comment down below. And we'll see you next time. Bye.